On this episode of Gita 108, When Bullies Strike. Hi, and welcome to Gita 108. I'm your host, Jagannath Das. When I was in high school, I learned more than what was just in the books.
And the boys who don't play football, they're looked at like, you punk.
I'm out of here when I turn 18. This town is full.
Yes, you name it. I was called everything from husky to a very charming young lady. At least I don't have to worry about one of those now. But seriously, as if my case weren't bad enough, imagine what it's like for an actual girl growing up in such an environment. Now, high school may be ancient history, but bullying is far from over. Terrorism, defined as the use of violence and threats to intimidate or coerce, is actually a political kind of bullying, fueled by technology, state sponsorship, and organization. Historically, opinion has been sharply divided about how to deal with this problem. It's hard to see past the strong feelings associated with violent aggression. Yet before we can assess and manage particular outbreaks of it, the general disease of bullying must first be understood. Therefore, Bhagavad-gita describes the essential problem as one of selfishness. Ichcha dvesha samutena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. No matter who or even what species one may be, we're all personally motivated by attraction and repulsion, desire and hate. But because these feelings are emotionally charged, we often fail to recognize them as being simply two sides of a single coin. Call it the me-first paradigm. Krishna describes this paradigm in 7 stages of development in the Gita. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. From such attachment, lust develops. From lust, anger arises. From anger, complete delusion. From delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, the cycle of fear and predation spirals back to the first step. Each time the process renews itself, the fire grows bigger and hungrier. What was in the beginning an infatuation with someone in the mind eventually must be spoken. And when words aren't enough, the courting process takes on a more physical shape. As for hatred, today's kids getting their lunch money stolen become tomorrow's scientists turned out to prostitute their advances for the sake of weaponization. Now, the way a person expresses desire and hate may be more or less evolved depending on the influence of the modes of nature at work, which we'll discuss in the next episode. But for now, it suffices to say that bullying is a product of undeveloped consciousness. Bullies have no sense of spiritual relationship. They have a one-sided view of life. They're manipulative and self-serving, always disturbed, often irrational, their perception is blurred, and they ignore the laws of nature. These were the characteristics of Arjuna's cousin Duryodhana, with whom he had to fight. So Krishna sang the verses of Bhagavad-gita to support Arjuna in facing his inevitable battle. A mentor can offer support through encouragement, counseling, and the right amount of humor. With that shelter, it becomes clear how to avoid situations where bullying is likely to come up. From the highest angle of vision, everything is coming to help us. Bullies can push us to reflect. The bhakti life, or devotional service, is self-directed. Although Gita is a big, heavy book, it shouldn't be used as a bludgeon. The first bully we have to stand up to is our own mind. And there's no better feeling than making that enemy into a friend. As for bullying from others, we use intelligence to keep the peace. Fighting is the last resort. You have to know what to expect from people. Bullies will always be there, but accepting that reality doesn't mean getting involved in domination or submission. As my mother used to say, as long as you're not a sociopath who likes hurting others, then do what makes you happy. So what makes you happy? Comment below and subscribe for new episodes. Thanks for watching Gita 108. I'm Jagannath Das, at your service.